I'm standing on what used to be called the St Luke's Guildford West church site. Of course, there hasn't been a church here since the early 1990s, and the land has remained pretty much dormant since that time.
Here is an aerial view of the property with the current rectory at the bottom of the picture. Beside the rectory there is essentially 3 blocks of land, though in reality there are only 2 blocks. You can see that the block directly beside the rectory has a line of large trees which we intend to leave standing. Behind the rectory there is a small amount of unused land which seems to have become a bit of a dumping site for rubbish. You can also see how the neighbours have used the property as a shortcut to Fowler Road. Now let's look at some plans. The first drawing simply outlines what we saw in the aerial view. The rectory at the bottom of the picture, the small amount of land behind the rectory, the tree-lined block beside the rectory and the double block at the top of the picture. Our plan is to begin by developing the centre block with a new house and granny flat. Together they should be able to raise around $50,000 in rental income per year, though one thought has been to use the house for an assistant minister's residence. The tree-lined block will also be used as a driveway to the granny flat. You can see that there is extra parking proposed at the end of this driveway. That's for the other possible developments in the future. One such development could possibly happen in partnership with a community group for youth. A particular community group has approached us through Anglicare with the thought that they could put a small housing pod, which is a portable building, on the small parcel of land behind the rectory. This idea is in its infancy, and while Parish Council has been willing to work with the community group, there is no guarantee that the youth housing project will actually happen. Lastly, our long-term goal is to build another house and granny flat on the final block of land at the top of the picture. This is not something that we would do immediately, but we hope to do it in the future.
Parish Council is hoping to use our finances and our investments and combine that into this property, which will give us a greater return so that this land will be used properly, but also to bring a financial return that will help us in future ministry. What we need to do right now is to raise $50,000. That's our shortfall. Rather than taking a loan, if we can raise that extra $50,000 to help us with landscaping and getting the final things done, then we'd be able to at least have our house and our granny flat built in order to start making the most out of the property here. Won't you join us in being able to develop the Fowler Road property?